Hey, boldly boss and crew. Happy holidays. Everybody should have made it through Thanksgiving 2020. So hopefully you made through healthy and full of food and feeling good. So I had a great time. But now today it's time to get back to business. So I am got my room back. So that's a good thing. I didn't dress up for y'all today because, hey, this is my life. This is me. It's how I look every day. But you don't care about how I look, right? You are here for the knowledge so you can level up your business, level up your foundation, level up your household, level up your finances. So that's why you're here. You don't care about me with what I'm looking like. Although, go Texas Rangers. You know I love these Texas teams. But enough about that. Let's get into it for today. Before I start, I always have to start with a quote. I'd rather be completely exhausted from the hard times which breed success than well rested and achieving nothing. Man, I live by this quote. I really feel like, look, if there's something I am trying to accomplish, I'm going to keep at it until I get it. And sometimes that does mean exhaustion. Sometimes that does mean there are issues, but I'd rather have that than to be laid up on the couch watching Netflix and well rested and not doing anything that I want to do. So, love the quote. Love the quote. Who is this video for? If you've seen any of my other videos, you know exactly who this is for. This is for all of my entrepreneurs who are out there growing your business, who need to leverage their personal credit so they can get business credit. Because if you are using your personal credit for your business, you are doing it the wrong way. But that's a whole nother video for a whole nother day. This video is for entrepreneurs. As I said, it's also for my single mamas. All right, because guess what? You queens are the head of your household. You're the CEO of your household, and you also need that foundation to make it possible. To build that generational wealth, you need a good foundation, and that means making sure you have that foundation. All right. So what are we talking about today? We're talking about what everybody needs to know in order to improve their credit score. And I'm going to give you little tips in this video. I always say for my people who make it to the end, I'm trying to share little nuggets and gems that have helped me along the way. Anyway, let me move my face out the way and get to this. All right. So the number one, or one of the things you should know, is you need to be reviewing your credit report for errors and inaccuracies, okay? Because remember, if it's inaccurate, it's not verifiable, or it's not timely, it should be removed from your credit report. If it's removed from your credit report and it's something that was negatively affecting you, that will increase your credit score, okay? So errors on your report, it's very important that you know what your credit report is on your credit report. You got to know what's on there. Reporting mistakes are very, very common, so you need to know what's on your report, okay? Fixing errors can raise your score. I've seen it raise a score 100 points for just fixing errors that were on the report or things that didn't even belong to that person. There could be people on your report that aren't even you, and their information is reporting on your report. So you don't want that either. Two ways to check your credit report. You can go to annualcreditreport.com. Until April 2021, you can check your report weekly for free. You can get a free weekly report by going to annualcreditreport.com. You can also go to creditkarma.com and sign up for Credit Karma to see what is on your TransUnion and Equifax report. So let me give you a little secret tip. If you want to start to remove negative items off of your credit report, I'm going to need you to get a report. Then I'm going to have you look at anything that's inaccurate. And I want you, when I say anything, I mean anything. If your name is spelled wrong, you don't want that on your report. If your employer is not up to date, your phone number is not up to date, they have the wrong date of birth, phone numbers, any information that is on your report that's not correct, you need to get it off. So before you even start the dispute process, you need to dispute any personal information that is inaccurate. Do that and you will thank me later. Because remember, these accounts, a lot of these accounts and some of the ones that might be negative accounts on your report, they are attached to the personal information that might be inaccurate. So once you remove that inaccurate information, it's much easier then to go and remove those accounts that are attached to that information. I hope I'm making sense, because that is a gem that you should be using right now. You don't have to go pay thousands of dollars for credit repair. You can do it yourself, and that is the way you start. Get all the negative items off of your report, all the negative personal items off of your report first. You should have one name, one address, one phone number, etc., etc. All right, 2. I'm going to need you. The second thing that they don't want you to know is that temporary high balances can also lower your credit score. So remember, the best way to beat the credit bureaus is to show them what you want them to see. That means using your statement dates to make sure that you pay what you want them to see utilized. Okay, I did not say that right. I'm sorry. Tired. Let me back up. Rewind. All right. Let's say your statement date is the 1st of the month. It's on the 1st. You have a balance of $100. Your credit limit is $200. So you have 50% utilization. Before the 1st, if you could pay off that $100, even temporarily, pay off that $100 once that statement closes and that statement date closes on the 1st, then you can go and put that money back on there. So I hope I'm making sense. Because if you max out a card and then your statement date rolls around, the bureaus are going to see the maxed out limit. That's not what you want them to see. You want them to see low limits. So if you have to do balance transfers to transfer a balance from one place to another and play the statement game, you might have to do that for a while, and that's okay. I've played that game many a days in order to keep something from showing on my personal credit, and that is okay to do. Do whatever you have to do to keep the utilizations in line. Under 30% is good. Under 10% is even better. Okay. If you have trouble making payments, again, you might try the balance transfer methods that will pay before your payment due date and hit before your statement date, and that's a good way to balance it out. I mean, there's so many techniques, so maybe I'll make some videos on that too, on how to just move money around to look good on paper. But it's not just about looking good on paper. It's about building a good foundation and building wealth. But everybody starts at a different point, so there's no judgment here. If you're starting out and you're trying to rob Peter to pay Paul, well, there is a better way to do that, so you don't have to necessarily rob Peter to pay Paul. But that, again, that's a whole nother video, whole nother thing. All right, the tip I have for you with this one is At minimum, every 6 months, ask the bank for a credit limit increase. If you have especially like these credit cards, if you've been making on-time payments, things have been going good, you've been using your card, you've been a great customer, they don't see you as risky, go ahead and ask for that credit limit increase. There are certain banks where once you're in their ecosystem, they don't. It's not even a hard inquiry; it's a soft inquiry. Like I did an increase on American Express, and it was not even a hard inquiry. Okay, but again, everybody's different, so I don't know. As of today, that's the way it is. But definitely do your research before you start going after getting a whole bunch of different increases, because there are some banks that do a hard inquiry, and that can lower your credit score. Remember that. And our goal is to increase credit score, not decrease it. But again, every 6 months at minimum, try to get those credit limit increases, because when you do, this will also affect your utilization. So if you go from $1,000 limit and they give you a limit increase to $2,000, well, now you have just changed your utilization numbers and you will increase your credit score for that. Número tres. All right. Once again, we're talking about credit card utilization. But here we're talking about making sure that you're not looking desperate to the banks. You want to keep your utilization low, or at least where it shows low. So by that statement date, your statement close date, whatever balance you want the credit bureau to see, that's the balance you should have, okay? And the lower the utilization, the better. Whatever you do, don't close unused credit cards. Let's say you have a credit card and you're not using it that often, and you're like, you know what, I don't want to tempt myself, I'm just going to close it. Don't do it. Don't close it. Leave it open and go put it in a drawer somewhere if you're not going to use it that often, and just charge on it every few months. But I will tell you, here's the tip. If you don't use it, you can lose it. It costs banks money to service open accounts. So if you're not using your account, you run the risk of losing it, or having them close it or lower your credit line. So you don't want that. But you also don't want to close it yourself. And let me give you a little secret to higher limits. Build relationships with these banks. Let's say you want to get into the Chase ecosystem. That's a good big bank. They've got some great travel rewards and that kind of thing. You need to go and open an account with them. So if it's personal, if you want a personal card, open up a bank account. You put a couple $100s in there. Just open up a bank. Let them see you, get to know you. Maybe even make friends with a banker at one of your local branches. Build a relationship with the bank, and then they are much more likely to give you money. I remember let's see, where would before I was even in the 700 club, I went to Chase and opened up an account because I actually got a mortgage with Chase. So I was like, okay, they're servicing my mortgage. Let me go ahead and open up an account with them because it'll be easier to pay my mortgage. Well, I had a mortgage with them. I opened up an account with them, savings and checking. Didn't even open it with that much money, but just opened it up. And the next thing you know, they're offering me, I think at that time it was $7,000 credit card. So they gave me a $7,000 credit card. I wasn't even in the 700 club at that time. So you can only imagine what the interest rate was on my home when I first bought it, but that's a whole nother story. Let's just say it wasn't the prime rates. So poor credit does cost you, and it costs you big. But anyway, I since refinanced and all that good stuff, but it does cost you, and I just don't want y'all to be in that situation. So, but anyway, my tip, just make sure you build a relationship with the bank, and they're more likely to hook you up. All right. So hopefully you got some value out of this short video. If you did, you know what to do. Give it a thumbs up. Subscribe. Let me know what you want to see. Hit that bell notification. Don't ever miss a chance to get information on your credit score and eliminating bad debt. You can do it. You can do it. So what do I say? I say keep boldly bossing up. Keep boldly bossing up. All right. I want you to take control of your credit, take control of your debt and your financial future. Remember, collaboration over competition is key. Now you keep boldly bossing up, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now. Bye for now.